How you doing out there in YouTube land? Chris back with yet another pickup video. This one's going to be a pretty large one. It's all of January and the first couple days here in February. And basically I had about 40, 45 items to show you or tell you about. I don't have all of them as I've already traded or sold some off. But I got quite a bit of stuff. My Nintendo collection is definitely growing. So we're going to start with on January 3rd. January 3rd, there's a gentleman named Nick who actually gave me the map and manual, or no, sorry, yeah, the map and manual for Link to the Past. Hell of a nice guy. He's also decided to sell me 4 Zelda games. He sold me a copy of Link's Awakening, the Player's Choice version, Link's Awakening DX, and Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. They were all complete in box, and actually Oracle of Seasons was still sealed. And he sold them all to me for about 150 bucks. So I mean that's a really good deal. Unfortunately, I've had them for a while, and I decided to trade them off or sell them off because I decided, as much as I love my Zelda collection, I'm not that big into the handhelds. I'm more into the old console versions and the newer DS ones. Will I get them again later? I may or may not, and I feel kind of bad letting them go because my Zelda collection is pretty huge. But what I traded them for is really good, and I'll show you guys that here later down in the video. Then on the 4th, I took a box of stuff into trade at Mr. Charlie Shaw's store over in St. Charles, Missouri, called Game Trader 2. A lot of wicked stuff going on in there. Definitely check him out. He has import games, new games, old games, accessories, boxed games, systems, basically whatever you need. And he's always getting stuff in on a new basis. He'll buy and trade. So if you have anything older, you can take it in there, trade it or buy it. I'll definitely post the address down in the link below. Probably a link to his Facebook page in the comments below, man. And whatever stuff I have here that I don't have anymore, I'm going to try to post a picture up here, by the way, for you guys to see it. So I took some stuff into Game Trader 2 to trade or sell. I sold some, and with the rest of it, I went ahead and took some trade. So I got Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. It's a Capcom Disney game. It's really fun. Anybody who played any of the Capcom Disney games, you know, even if it's Capcom and Disney on it for the NES, knows that they're all really good games. Some of the funner ones are, of course, DuckTales, DuckTales 2, Chippendales, Chippendales 2. Then there was Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck was another good one. Tailspin wasn't actually too bad. Then we got Cobra Triangle. I haven't played this game yet. It looks like a boat racing game. It says, get ready for the full throttle thrill of Cobra Challenge. And it shows sharks and landmines and dragons. So I'm assuming it's some kind of boat racing game. Haven't played it. I'll probably play it this weekend because it looks pretty interesting. I'm backlogged quite a bit on games right now, and I'll admit, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has been eating up a lot of my time. As much as I love old school stuff, I'm big into new school as well. Then we have Demon's Sword. This is a really fun game. I played this a lot when I was a kid. It's a Taito title. They made some really good quality games. Basically, you start as this guy. I can't remember his freaking name, but you go around with a miniature type sword, and after so long, it starts growing, and it becomes bigger and bigger, and soon the sword's like as big as you are. It's pretty interesting the way the sword grew. It kind of like almost reminded me of Lion-O from Thundercats, and it's really fun hack and slash games to run through. If you like games like Ninja Gaiden, Russian Attack, and the side-scrolling slashems or whatever, definitely check out Demon's Sword. It's a really fun game. Then I also got Heavy Shredding. It's a snowboarding game by Parker Brothers. I don't know if you can see that or not. I haven't played that one yet, but I don't know. I'm going to check it out. Of course, I tested to make sure it worked. But I'm not really big into a lot of these sports games, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to like it or not. If anybody's tested it, played it, if anybody really likes it or hates it or whatever, comment down below. Tell me what you think about it. Then I got Lunar Pool. It's one of the couple pool games for NES. It's by FCI, who made some pretty good games. And Lunar Pool was an okay game. Personally, I preferred Side Pocket. I always thought that was a really good pool game for the NES. And then after that, we got Magic Johnson's Fast Break. It's by who is this by? Trade West. I don't ever remember playing this game. Like I said, I wasn't real big into sports. As far as NES goes, the biggest sports game I played was probably, if you don't include Punch Out, boxing, it would probably be things like RBI baseball or Bases Loaded. I played quite a bit of baseball games, not too many basketball games or football games. I played Blades of Steel. That was a great, great sports game. Then we have Phantom Fighter. It's another FCI game. I have not played this yet. I need to check it out. If anybody knows anything about it, post down below. Tell me about it. I might do a let's play on that once I get some good video equipment. Then there is Platoon, based on the movie, of course, by Sunsoft. I tried playing that game when I was a kid. I didn't really like it. I'll probably try it again just to check it out. But if I'm not mistaken, it kind of reminded me of like a mix between like Blaster Master and Metal Gear. And it wasn't really all that great. I mean, you imagine those two games together would be great, but Then we have Sesame Street 1, 2, 3. And I already had ABC, so now I got 1, 2, 3. So now I think the only other Sesame Street game besides Big Bird, which I already have, is Sesame Street 1, 2, 3 ABC on the same cart. So I'm almost there. Then we have The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants, made by Acclaim. And Acclaim made some really fun games. This was actually one of them. I liked Bart versus the Space Mutants. I remember going around spray painting stuff red, or was it purple? Maybe I can't remember. But I remember attacking the aliens, and I actually remember beating that game. I might have used a Game Genie. I'm not for sure. Don't hold me on that. But the other games, the Bart versus the World and Bart Meets Radioactive Man, I didn't really like too well, but Bart vs. Space Mutants was definitely the standout Simpsons game, in my opinion, on the home consoles. Let's see here. Then we have Ultima Exodus, another FCI game. I don't really remember playing the Ultima games. I'm pretty sure it's an RPG type, text-based type adventure game. I didn't really play a lot of RPGs when I was younger. I didn't really get into RPGs at all. I'm still not really. Some games like Final Fantasy VII I got into. Some of the games that had RPG elements I got into, like Parasite Eve, stuff like that. But for the most part, RPGs aren't my cup of tea. Of course, I got it because of the NES collection. So those are all the ones for January 4th. On January 18th, I went to Flea Market. And these next three games, sorry, I'm looking at my computer screen here. They're all complete in box. They're all cost me $5. I got Super Mario Galaxy. It's actually really nice. Everything looks good on it except that pesky GameStop sticker on the back. The game and manual are both in there. Both look pretty nice. And then I got The Thing. It's a thing made by Konami. It's actually a pretty fun type of survival horror game. I'm not really sure what to compare it to, but it's just a standard survival horror game. You're inside the desert, maybe like Forbidden Planet or something like that. Not desert, snow area. Desert. I swear to God, I'm crazy over here. Then I got a game that I haven't played yet, but I heard Sasquatch from the video game sellers talking about it. It's called Okaji. Shadow King. Oh no, it wasn't Sasquatch. It was Alpha Omega Sin. He's the one that said something about it, and it's made by I think it's made by Sony actually. But it looks like a really fun game. It looks like a typical RPG type game. I can't remember if I showed you the inside of it or not, but that's it. But I'll definitely have to check that out. So then on January 19th, a woman contacted me. She actually contacted me about a week before that, on the 19th when I picked it up. But she actually gave me copies of Donkey Kong 64, Super Battle Tank 2, Donkey Kong 64 for the N64, Super Battle Tank 2, Jack Nicholas Golf, and Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade Revenge for the SNES. She gave me all those titles. I no longer have them. I got rid of them. But she just gave them to me because she knew I was looking for old games. She didn't have a way to test them. She didn't really care. She just handed them to me. And I've been trying to sell some games for her. So it's kind of, here you go, you do this, and I'll help you out a little bit. Let's see here. Gotta scroll down a little bit. Okay, then on January 19th, once again, I met a woman who sold me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many games is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 9 games. Sold me 9 Nintendo games for a total of $40. And those 9 games, there was 3 of them that were unlicensed. Miss Pac-Man, RBI Baseball 2, and Bible Adventures. I ended up selling those off because I don't collect unlicensed games. And then the other games I got from her were Breakthrough. Breakthrough is made by Data East. I don't remember playing this game. I'm assuming it's like a maybe like a Tiger Heli type game, but with cars. I mean, I'm not really sure. If anybody knows anything about any of these games, post below. Dig Dug 2, which is a Bandai title. Dig Dug 2, I never played it on the NES. I played Dig Dug in the arcade. I always thought Dig Dug was a really fun game. Going around blowing creatures up, literally, with like a tire pressure type thing. Activision game, Ghostbusters 2. I remember playing Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 when I was really young. I don't remember. I think Ghostbusters 1 was the one that I hated, and Ghostbusters 2 was okay, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back through and play it again to find out. Then we got made by Nintendo. Capcom. We have Gunsmoke. I don't remember playing this game. I think I might have played it in the arcade, if it was in the arcade, but once again, if anybody has anything good to say about it, say it down below, or bad, or whatever. Being Capcom, I'm sure it's a pretty decent game. Most of their games for NES were really good. Then the last 2 games she gave me was Nintendo, well, not gave me, sold me, was Nintendo's Super Spike V-Ball and Nintendo World Cup on the same one. I remember having this when I was a kid. And Nintendo World Cup I loved, same way with Super Spike V-Ball, because, so like I said, it's a sports game I played, because I remember on those games being able to hit the ball really hard and like knocking your opponent out, not your opponent, but your well, I guess your opponent, the other team, like in the soccer, you can like kick the ball really hard, you see you flying, and it knocks somebody out, and Super Spike V-Ball, spiking the ball so hard it like knocks them out. And then the game I was most excited to get about this from this lady, and I didn't even know this was a really expensive game. Once again, I've only been collecting NES for about a year, so when I got this, I was like kind of like, wow, I didn't know how expensive it was. I just knew I needed it. And I guess I got it confused with a different game, but it's Tecmo's Ninja Gaiden 3. Apparently it's like a $40, $50 game right now, and I'm like, wow, I did not know that. So I paid $40 for all 9 of those games, so that's a pretty good deal. I mean, basically that alone was worth it, and then I got all the other ones for free if you want to look at it that way, so that was a pretty good deal. Of course, I kept those 6, and the other 3 I got rid of because, like I said, I'm not doing unlicensed. Eventually I may, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, if I come across like some of the expensive non-licensed ones, I might keep them just because they're harder to get. But otherwise, I'll just get rid of them. Okay, and then on excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. On January 22nd, I contacted a guy who had some GameCube games for sale. One of them I picked up from my kids, and they don't really like it. It's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's by Sega, obviously, for the GameCube. When I saw it, I thought it might look kind of odd, like it might have been sun faded. It's actually a printed cover, and there's no manual inside. It's just a game, so I'll probably try to get rid of that game kind of cheap, trade it off for a common NES game or something I need. And then the one I really definitely wanted from him, I used to have these games, and I got rid of them like a moron. One of Nintendo's best franchise, in my opinion, right next to Legend of Zelda, and that is Metroid. It's Metroid Prime with the Metroid Prime's bonus disc. I haven't played Metroid Prime bonus disc, I don't believe, but if you might know anything about it, let me know. But it is complete. It's got the manual. It's got both discs. It looks in really great shape, so I'm glad to get that. Now I need to get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 again. Like a moron, I saw them all off back a while back. So then, let's see here. I went to Goodwill on January 26th, and The Goodwill I went to is the one where I got Conker's Bad Fur Day last year for $3. Lately, they seem to be not really caring about their prices. They seem to be on the older games going back to normal standard prices, $3 for cart games and things like that. And I think it's because they're focusing now on PS4, Xbox One stuff. They have a lot of those in. Like the other day, I walked in, they had like Destiny and Modern Advanced Warfare and a couple other games for the newer systems. So I walked in and I saw a stack of N64 games. Now I didn't have a lot of money. I only had about 15 bucks and some change to spend. So I ended up picking up 5 of them. I ended up picking up Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and Star Fox and the Ocarina of Time, the Gray Kart. But all 3 of these for $3, or all 5 of these for $3 each. They also had a Shadow Man, which I kind of regretted passing on because that's a fun game to play. These 5 I ended up taking, and I ended up selling them to Game Trader 2. So he has them for sale along with quite a few other great games. And overall, I thought it was a great deal. I mean, it was easy to flip, which definitely helps me build up my collection more. I could have put them on eBay and got a lot more than I sold them for. So I don't want anybody to think I ripped anybody off here. And I usually don't flip that quickly, but I knew these would flip very easily, and I knew I needed the money for other stuff. So then on January 27th, there was a guy I talked to on Facebook. He had a Nintendo system, Zapper, and quite a few games he was trying to sell all at once. I let him know I was a collector, that I was going for a full NES title, or full NES collection. Told him that he had one game in there I needed and wanted to know if he wanted to sell it. That game is Conan, and it's by Mindscape. I haven't played this yet. I didn't even really heard of it when I was younger, so it's definitely a newer game for me. He said he looked up online, it was like valued about 12 bucks, so he sold it to me for 10. When I looked it up, it was closer to $20. So either way, I didn't really mind spending that. I'm like, okay, it's a game I don't see often. I'm never seeing it at a game store, so I'll go and pick it up. And then on January 30th, I went to my local pawn shop where I've got Battletoads Double Dragon last year for $2 and a whole bunch of other stuff. All his NES games are $2, unless they're Mario, then they're 4. And he had one game I needed. It was Tecmo World Wrestling. I think that gives me all the Tecmo sports games now, if I'm not mistaken. And he also had a copy of Final Fantasy 1, which is actually a pretty decent looking label. The back label has a little wear to it. Well, Final Fantasy is a great trade game. I already had it, but you could trade it easily for a comment or two because there's a lot of people who want Final Fantasy who don't have it. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get it until a couple months ago. Then on the 31st, I went back to the same pawn shop, and he had some new games out there. Actually, about 6 or 7 new games. Most of them I already had. This one I already had as well, Battletoads. Once again, I picked up because Battletoads is a very sought after game. It's going to be very easy to trade for. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take it because I need more games, and I'll trade that one off. That same day, I went to the flea market, and most people there had really nothing worthwhile. A bunch of newer games I wasn't really interested in, a bunch of sports games and things like that for older systems. I'm like, yeah. But then I saw this, and Soul Calibur 2 for Nintendo GameCube. I wasn't a big fan of Soul Calibur games. Soul Blade I played a little bit in the arcade and whatnot, but this has Link on it. I mean, motherfucking Link in a fighting game years before Smash Brothers came out. And it was in complete condition. Oh, don't know why the iNinja's in there, but sorry, my bad. Here is a manual for it. It was facing the wrong way for whatever reason. But I mean, the game is in good looking shape, and of course it shows Link big time on the cover. So I definitely had to get that. It only cost $2, so I'm like, not a bad flea market pickup. Then on let's see here, February 2nd, so 2 days ago, I went to the pawn shop again where I got Battletoads, and he had a couple new games that he's just not putting out. One of them was Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout. I didn't have this one yet. Very common game, very cheap game, but once again only $2, so it was about $4 cheaper than most stores and whatnot. So I went and picked it up. Then I made a trade with a guy named Kyle from the Nintendo Trade and Collect page. Now, The Oracle of Seasons, the sealed one, I sold to Alex from the St. Louis Matches board, St. Louis Retro board, because he is a sealed collector. I'm not, so I figured he could appreciate it more. I gave him a deal, which is about 25 bucks or so, might even be about $30 off of the normal price for it. So I cut him a deal because I got a good deal on it. And then the other three I traded to Kyle from the Cinnaboard because he wanted two of them to complete his collection, and then he wanted the Oracle Ages because it was the first edition, and he had the first edition of Seasons, so he wanted the matching pair. So he traded me two games in return. One is Kid Clown. I think it's actually called Kid Clown in Nightmare World. The top of the label is a little rough, but that's fine. This is a really tough game to find as well, going for about the $50-$60 range or so. It's a really fun game. It's a platformer, but you basically go around as a clown, and any game where you can play as a clown, in my opinion, is always great. And then the game that I got from him that I really appreciate is going up in price. It's kind of steady right now. It's by sorry, Kid Clown is by Kimco, by the way. Cowboy Kid is by Romstar, and Cowboy Kid is a rough game to find, hard game to find. It's about $110 or so. So I'm glad to get this one knocked off. It has a little bit of a back label damage, wear I should say, but for a trade, I couldn't beat it, and it's definitely knocks one of the bigger titles off my list. Right now, I'm trying to work out some trades with a couple other guys. Hopefully, I get some really good stuff out of these, and I can get some more high end Nintendo titles knocked out of the way. So that's everything. And Mr. Haddix from the St. Louis Matches board gave me for free. Thank you very much, by the way. Copy of Nintendo Power from 1992, March, I believe it is. And it's The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And it has a cool comic in there and some other stuff, so it's pretty nifty to have. But basically, that's all my pickup videos, or all my pickups from January and the beginning of February. Hopefully, I'll have more to show you guys. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll probably do some kind of giveaway when I hit 50 subscribers, if I hit 50. Right now I'm right at 15, so make sure you pass this around, get people to subscribe. Check out the videos I post, or check out the channels I posted in my last video. Those guys, some could use more subscribers, some of them got enough, but never hurts to have more people watching them. And remember, the deals are out there, keep looking. So, have a good one.